Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my creative playground. Tonight I'm going to show you how to cut and put together these really cool flip books, and this is a small one. This one is 3 3/4 inch square, and I'm going to show you how to do all the pieces and also how to do the inside. And let's get started putting this one together. Okay, so I am starting with Highland Heather cardstock. So the first piece is going to be the cover of the book and the binding of the book. And you want that piece to be 3 3/4 by 11 inches. And you're going to score that at 3 1/2, 3 3/4, and then you're going to flip that and you're going to score it again at 3 1/2 and 3 3/4. So then you have the cover for your mini flip book. So I'm going to do this. And you just want to make sure that you burnish these really well. So this is going to be the binding for your book. I love this Highland Heather color. So tonight I'm using the Hues of Happiness designer paper, and it happens to be one of my favorite papers from the annual catalog. So there's our cover. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut 3 pieces that are 3 1/2 by 7 1/2. And you can get 3 pieces out of one sheet for this smaller book. Okay, and now we're going to score each of these at 2 inches from each side. So we're going to score 2, flip it and score 2. Same thing with this. So again, we're going to fold and burnish. And these are going to overlap, but that's okay. It will make sense. Okay, there we go. Now, to put this together, we do want to use a really strong adhesive, so I would recommend either a strong glue, tear and tape, or Seal Plus. And any one of those is fine, but it just needs to be a strong adhesive. So I have 3 sets of pages here, and what I'm going to do is put glue on my first page. And then I find it's best if you stand up. I'm going to line this up at those folds and those edges. And that's the problem with Seal Plus. You can't move it once you put it down. So it's going to look like this. And it's going to fold up like that. Okay, so now we're going to do one more. We'll do this one. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to cover that with Seal Plus, and then I'm going to line this up. And we will do that. Okay, and there is the inside of our book. And now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our book cover, and what we want to do is make sure that this middle section is lined up with this middle section of the book. So we're going to fold this up like this. So I've got one side going over each other, and then we are going to add glue to this back page here and we're going to attach that to this. And the book cover has a 1/4 of an inch extension on each side, so it is a little bit longer. You know, as most books are, the cover is just a tad bigger than the inside of the book, than the pages of the book. So we're going to do that. So and just as a warning, I did this once, and I just did this, like this, and I attached that, and then I realized that my whole thing went out the wrong way. So you've got to make sure that you had this middle section lined up with this middle section. So you want to fold in, whoops, you want to fold these in, fold that in, and then fold that in. There we go. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to line it up, and it's going to just go over these 2 1/4 inch lines right here. So, and then you'll see that the thickness of the book will be in that binding area. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. I am going to add my Seal Plus. And again, I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to line this up like this. There we go. Okay, and just press down, and now my book opens up, so it's going to look like that. Okay, now the next thing that you want is a couple of pieces of ribbon, and they just need to be, I don't know, 10 inches or so. You don't need super long ones. And then we're going to put our covers on. Now, we need 2 pieces for our cover that are 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. And those are going to go on here. So again, I'm going to kind of close this up a little bit. So they're 3 1/2 this way, they're 3 1/2 tall, and they're 3 1/4 wide. And what I want to do is, I'm just going to make this, that will make it much easier. Okay, so this is the cover of my book, and I want to take my ribbon, and I'm just going to attach it in the center here, underneath like that, and then I love this Hues of Happiness paper. It is so pretty. Okay, and there we go. So there is our cover. Now I'm going to take the same thing. I'm going to go to the back of the book. So we've got this, we've got the back side here. This is the front, this is the back. So I'll flip this over here like this. I'm going to attach my ribbon, and you want to try and make it about the same place so that they're coming out at the same place. So let me line this up here. That's what's really nice about using the grids or the grid paper. And so I'm going to line that up right here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape here. Okay. Oops. So I'm just going to line that up. Okay, there we go. So, okay, so now this is all going to fold up like this. Oops. Put this one in. Uh-oh, I did that wrong. Okay, forget what I said. Okay, I put the ribbon in on the wrong side, so we're going to pull that. Okay, so I want my ribbon to go under this side, so I'm just going to pull that up a little bit, hopefully. I will add adhesive. There we go. And there we go. And there's the back side. So it's going to look like this, and you will be able to fold this and tie it closed. So There is the front of our small flip book. And now what we want to do is we have all these different pages, and if you count, so these two are the cover. So these are going to be 3 3/4 rather than the 3 1/2, whereas these are the 3 1/2. So these are going to be just a little bit larger pieces. The inside of the cover. Okay, and then the same thing on this one. So let's fold that over. And yep, that's going to go there. That works. All right. And again, it's just those two pieces because that cover is 3 3/4 tall, whereas the inside pages are 3 1/2 tall. Okay, is the inside of my book. So now what I need to do is these pieces are 2 inches by 3 1/2. So you want pieces that are 1 3/4 by 3 1/4 to cover these. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. So you want 8 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay. And I happen to have a bunch of those cut here. So we will put those on. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that you need to have at, I want this to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're going to cut that, and then I'm going to cut this piece. And I'm going to be short a couple of pieces. I thought I cut enough. Ugh. Why is it always that way? Okay. So I need 3 1/4. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then this one can go here. Okay, now these pieces are 2 by 3 1/2. So we want this to be 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I have cut a bunch of these and use the flower part on one section if you wanted to. Oops, that one's upside down. Make sure they're going the right way. And then on the other section, use the colors. And again, what I would do with this is I would cut some fun labels, stamp messages. You can put messages on the side, or you could put little cameo pictures. You can put main pictures or messages in the center as well. But, you know, have fun with it. Okay, so let's do this part. So these are 1 3/4. By 3 1/4. And for this part, you don't necessarily need to use the Seal Plus, but I just am because that's what I started using. But to hold the book together, you really do need the Seal Plus. Okay, now. Okay, so there is our little book, all finished. So this folds in. I'm gonna fold that in. Fold that. Fold this. There's our book. There we go. And then we're just going to tie it all together. So again, I would pick something that has fun labels, that have some fun shapes. One that has something that's less than 2 inches to use on those narrow strips. And, use those, write some fun notes and that. So there is our little book. And good luck making it. Once you finish, send me a picture and I'll post it out on my website.